going, guys? Nintendo enthusiast here. Today I wanted to talk all about the Nintendo Switch online subscription service, and this is a service that hasn't been received great ever since it launched in 2018, but some new reports are stating that we're probably getting Game Boy and Game Boy Color games added to the service. And just recently, Eurogamer was able to separately corroborate these reports, and they have heard that other retro platforms are also in the cards. Which honestly sounds awesome, but seems obvious. It's insane that we haven't gotten any other platforms aside from NES and SNES since this subscription service launched. I've made a handful of videos on this already, but I'm going to reiterate a little bit. Back whenever this service launched, I think a lot of people were expecting consoles to continue to come to the service. We had NES at the start, and then later on they added SNES, and they've been slowly drip feeding some games that honestly not a lot of people care about ever since then. And aside from that, it's basically just been crickets. Not a lot happening on this service, which seriously blows my mind because out of all these companies, Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo has such a vast catalog of classic games ever since the NES. And we got most of the big hitters on NES and SNES, but still, no N64, no GameCube, no Wii, no Game Boy family consoles, no DS family of consoles, and there are so many games on all of those platforms that would be incredible to have on Nintendo Switch. The craziest part to me about this is that Nintendo owns the rights to most of the games that people care about on these platforms. It's not like they have to get licenses to use their own titles in a subscription service. Now, I'm sure there are a few outliers with music licensing and all that kind of stuff where some games would just be tough to put on a service without having to go through some type of process that would not be worth it. But you're telling me that you can't put GBA games like Metroid Fusion or Metroid Zero on the Nintendo Switch service before Metroid Dread? That seemed like the most obvious thing to do, and it would cost Nintendo basically nothing. Like seriously, I have an 8-year-old son who loves playing F-Zero, yet there's only one F-Zero game available on Switch, which is the SNES game, but aside from that, he can play all of them on Wii U, not the Switch, Wii U. He can play both F-Zero games from GBA, F-Zero 64, and of course the original F-Zero from SNES. It boggles my mind that these games aren't on Switch yet. It has been over 4 years since the Switch launched, and we don't have obvious classic Nintendo titles available on this service. It's time. And I think this report is legit. I do think we're going to get Game Boy and Game Boy Color games probably very soon. There's some rumors of a Nintendo Direct coming very soon. I'll probably do a separate video on that in the near future, give my predictions and whatnot. But as for Eurogamer's report, stating that there are other retro platforms coming, that's what gets me excited because I really want GBA games. I would love N64 games. GameCube games seem like a bit of a stretch because those are the types of games that Nintendo would just want to remaster and re-release for $60. But N64, GBA, DS, these platforms should be on the service. Let me know if you agree or disagree, but I think it's time. I'll be sure to make an update video if we hear anything else on more consoles coming to the Nintendo Switch online service. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up. If you didn't, hit that thumbs down. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will talk to you guys later. See ya.